Peace, pretty people. It's Kiara J.
And it is Samaria Lee. This is With Class Podcast, where each week we come to serve looks, look cute as fuck and pretty as shit, but most importantly to share stories in order to encourage, elevate, and empower.
If you like what you see and hear, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like your story to be shared publicly or anonymously on our podcast, please feel free to email us at xowithclass@gmail.com. All stories are welcome. Also, follow us on IG and TikTok at xo_withclass. We hope to see you next week. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode.
I said we have to aspire. We have to inspire before we expire. We have to be more than gangsters. We have to rebuild ourselves in order to rebuild the culture. We have to become unified. We can't be afraid of growth, nor should we be afraid to salute one another. We have to be the change that we want to see in the youth. Our future collectively depends on it. The time is now. If not now, then when? Come on, y'all. Let's tighten up as a whole. But all in all, I want to appreciate everybody for showing me love. I'm going to keep feeding the culture. Just keep tuning in. Free King Not, even though King Not mentally changed.
The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Life does not end when the odds are stacked against you. Life does not end when the world forgets about you. And life does not end when you are given an outrageous amount of time at an age where you can't even comprehend what it means or what effect it will have on you.
And by time, she mean jail time. In today's episode, we are introducing King Not. He has been in federal prison for over 15 years now, sentenced to about 60 years only at the age of 19. While incarcerated, he has started a clothing line and he's continued releasing music. His positive demeanor and outlook on life should be studied. Here's his story.
King Not.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block, you may begin speaking now.
I mean, for y'all who don't know, my name King Nat. You know, I come from D.C. At the time, I'm incarcerated in USP Lee County. You know,
This call is from a federal prison.
about to turn up on the podcast. Let's go.
Okay, so right now, as I know you.
But I don't want to go back right now no more.
Okay, what's the story behind
And
it?
I want to tell you why.
Okay.
Because right now, it's a difference between right now and King Nat.
Okay.
Right now, even though right now was a young king, but he just wasn't crowned yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I had to figure out who he was and figure out his self-worth. So that's when he became King Nat. King Nat is more so like the phoenix. So he rose from right now ashes. He became the king. He got crowned. That's what that
Okay.
was. So.
I like that. And I see, look, I see the evolution between the names because rat sound more like, you know, like you rotten, like, you know, you bad.
Know what I'm saying? It was just rotten in a bad world, you know what I'm saying?
And then now you king, so I like that. Okay,
Okay.
so describe how you were before prison.
I mean, before prison, I was just a young dude roaming, trying to figure out who am I? Like, what do I have to offer to the world? And in the midst of that, I was sanctioned and, of course, poverty, you know. So trying to find my way, navigating through that type of environment, it was more so like seeking, trying to figure out who I want to become. But I always was ambitious. Don't get it twisted. I always was ambitious. I always had a drive to want to be great at whatever I do. It was just the process of, you know, trying to figure it out. And you know what come with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how old were you when you were arrested?
I want to say 19. Yeah, 19.
Dang, you was just a kid.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Dang. So you were sentenced to a lot of time. Describe the feeling you had when the judge gave you that time.
That's a good question, man. Like, trying to describe that, I mean, it's not even an easy question, but at the end of the day, like, it's just undescribable. Like, being sentenced at 19 to 60 years in prison, like, where do I start? You know what I'm saying? I was more so moving around as if, like, all right, damn, 60 years? I ain't even know where to start counting that. So the feeling behind that, man, was devastating, to say the least. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, that's a good point. And I mean, it's so sad, it's so unfortunate that you were in that predicament. The good thing about it now within this interview is you can express how devastating that was, because it's a lot of young guys making a lot of terrible mistakes, and they so
Exactly.
young and they just throwing away their life. And now you can give them advice, and because you're there, and you can tell
Exactly.
them, why they don't want to go there.
Oh, yeah, like, man, to all the young guys who out there, man, feeling like thugging is the way to be, I'm here to let you know, man, it ain't. Because my experiences should be all instructions. Like, man, it's so easy to get into this place, man, but so hard to get out. So my advice to all the young guys, man, that's coming up thinking that the streets is the only way out or the only thing that they know, man, there's only one or two things that's going to happen behind living that type of lifestyle, man. And must I explain, man, dead or locked up, just to keep it all the way a stack. So for all you young dudes, man, like, let's be better, man. Let's be great. Like, let's try to do more than what we see in front of us, man, because it's a big world out there, man. We gotta live it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was really great advice, and also that's so true when you said, like, I just want to emphasize that because my boyfriend, my daughter's dad, he's also incarcerated, and we always just talk about, like, damn, it was so easy for you to go in, and it's just so hard for you to come out, and he got locked up for the dumbest thing. He ain't have on a helmet riding in Virginia. They chased him. They wasn't supposed to chase him. They knocked him off the motorcycle, and then they gave him like a year for that. And then they turned around
You see
and
what we up against?
Yeah, that's what
we
I'm
up
saying.
against.
And
You know what I'm saying? We up against anything. Even if we doing something to enjoy our life, they gonna always make it as if we in the wrong, no matter what.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I want you to tell him I send my love. You know what I'm saying? From struggle to struggle, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we don't supposed to be getting treated like that. And his day coming, man. Just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, but they gave him another year for parole violation. It was just all screwed up. But anyway, this is not about him. This is about you. So.
Yeah, big shout out to him though.
When you was
Freedom, real.
When you was young, right, and you was out there living that life, did you ever like, even because I know you had old heads or people in your ear telling you the exact same thing that you want to tell the youngest, like, stop. Like, turn it around just a little bit so you don't end up in jail. Did you ever imagine that you would be locked up when you were a child?
And crazy thing, and I love that question too, because crazy thing, I cry to you before I lie to you, man. I definitely had a lot of good people in my corner, and the thing was that I was just so big and I was so headstrong on wanting to live my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, so it felt like I always was a leader from jump, and anybody that know me can tell you that. So even when the dudes was in my ear, or even the ones with the good support, I always listen, but at the end of the day, just being young, it'll go in one ear and out the other, you know what I'm saying? And I swear, like, to this day, I talk to them guys, and they some of my support system to this day, and I always thank them and give them their flowers for what they tried to do to me ahead of time, but I was just so caught up on that one way of living. I had a one-dimensional way of living, and I'm thinking that what was in front of me was the end-all, be-all, and I was absolutely the wrong way of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Dang. And for real, because they been, the adults, our elders, even people that, like the alcoholics and the drug addicts, they all try to give us wisdom when we young.
Right.
But we want to live how we want to
it.
live. Exactly. But they have been there, they done that, and they just trying to help us.
Experience is the best teacher in life, and I learned that so much every day.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true too. Man, your journey
and I want to elaborate, because, like, even the flip side of that, like now and today, I think the young generation is so screwed up. I can cuss on here. I don't want to be rude or nothing
You
like
can
that.
curse.
But
It's certain
it's
words
so
you won't be able to say on YouTube, but you could say what you were about to say.
Yeah, it's so effed up. Like, it's so effed up to the point that the old heads now, they scared to get a young advice. They scared to embrace these young. And I know our generation was screwed up and effed up, but these young, bruh, that stuff is just so insane what they be going through. But I feel they pain because they don't have what I had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This call is from a federal prison.
Very rare that you're going to get somebody in your corner that's going to be at your best interest. And these young niggas is getting the worst of that. And I feel for them young guys coming up nowadays, man.
I do too, and you know what? I'm one of those people, I want to give, like, the younger generation of girls advice and words of wisdom and stuff, but I be a little scared too. I'm like the people you talking about, I'm a little scared because they just so, it's like if I go up to one of these young girls and be like, you too beautiful to be out here doing that, they coming back at me like, who the fuck are you? Like, get the fuck out my face. Like, there is no respect.
That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Because at the end of the day, like, that's because they come from a system of no love. You know what I'm saying? What would you do if nobody never showed you no love? The minute somebody tries to show you love, you're going to feel like, who sent you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand them, but I would, you know what I'm saying? I understand where they be coming from, but that's what make it even worse. That's what make me hurt even more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For our next culture, man. That's why I really want. That's why second chances is very rare, and I'm glad I was able to get one, man, because chances make champions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I got to start my non-profit organization for the youth, man, because at the end of the day, man, I do not want to see nobody go through what I went through.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yes.
Or I don't want to see nobody feeling like they less of who they are. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be surrounded by the ones who need help the most, and I think that's the next generation and the next culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. Got to start that movement. That's important.
So the next question is, can you share a little insight on life in the inside? On the inside, I'm sorry.
What's your
Oh, man.
experiences? And don't hold back on the racism that you may have encountered. Don't hold back on the good
we're gonna keep it. We're gonna
the
keep it
bad
uncut.
things.
We're gonna keep it uncut.
Yeah,
Like,
let's keep it raw.
yeah, no question. Anything else to be, you know what I'm saying? So, in here, man, like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. This place is like the worst of the worst. Like, I'm living in a third world country, man. Like, I swear, baby boy, baby girl, like, this shit it's undescribable. Like, it's so real to the point that it feels unreal. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, just waking up to the same things every day, living in a cell, a four-corner cell where so you just got a sink in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is crazy, and they divide us in here by cars. You know what I'm saying? Your individual opinion is being really amongst a car. And when I say a car, it's like, where you from? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got down south, Midwest. That's how we being identified. You feel me? We're not being identified for who you are as an individual. You know what I'm saying? So, and like, it's just the worst of the worst. It's like we going against each other. Like, it's no structure to where as though for the men. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know where to start when it comes to how they treating our skin color. You know what I'm saying? We get the short end of the stick all the way around the board. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is in here. Like, I can't really tell you too much of good other than I'm waking up and being blessed that I can still do things like this, talk to y'all and be on this type of platform. But other than that, this is the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing cool about being behind these circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so when they say that prison is a place to rehabilitate, would you agree with that, or would you say prison is just really a form of slavery? And it's not helping anybody.
I would definitely say it's modern day slavery, but I'm saying, how are they telling me to rehabilitate when two guys right here fighting and they lock me down for a month for something that I don't got nothing to do with, and they telling me to go on my cell and become a better individual when I can't even call my family. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? I can't even reach out to my loved ones, let alone my
This call is from a federal prison.
Let alone my lawyer for a case, but they telling me to rehabilitate and be this type of modern inmate for the likings of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it'd be brainless for me not to, come in a situation like this and become a better person, because at the end of the day, I thank them for giving me the time to myself to know exactly who I am and understand my self-worth and understand, like, taking the support system and knowing how to take that stuff with a grain of salt. Because like you said earlier, you'll give some people advice and they'll cuss you out. So that's one thing I understand with, though, like, and I respect, like, all right, boom, I get to really sit down and know who I am, and, you know what I'm saying, gratitude, you know what I'm saying, I learned, you know what I'm saying, all that. So it's bittersweet, but however, you know what I'm saying.
Right. So how do you get through some of your roughest times? Like, what is your therapy for, like, getting through?
For real, just knowing that I got something to come home to, like, just knowing that I got a second chance at my freedom. I'm a guy coming in here with 60 years, you know what I'm saying, at 19 years old. So that be my motivation, just putting my best foot forward and wanting to be better for not just me, but for my loved ones, you know what I'm saying, to show my growth and all that. That be my motivation, like, really.
So it sounds like you have a great support system. There's a lot of people who are locked up behind bars that do not have a good support system. I want to know, have you ever been, since you've been locked up, since you were 19 years old, if you don't mind asking, how old are you now?
Now I'm 34.
Okay, so since from 19 to 34, have you ever been in a situation where you just felt completely abandoned by, like, the people that, you have a lot of friends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, everything ain't peaches and cream. Like, everything ain't on the ups. At the end of the day, I got people that came in my life and left out, or want to come in when they feel as though it's right for them. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say it's abandonment, because at the end of the day, especially when it comes to, and let me point this out, especially when it comes to females, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Family gonna always be there, be around when you call, if they could be, you know what I'm saying? It's rough out there. So when it comes to a financial standpoint, if they can do that, they can do that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to speak on, like, females that come in and out of my life or came in and out of my life. I understand it because we young, you know what I'm saying? It's a big world out there. And I don't fault them, because at the end of the day, when we grew up, we ain't say, oh, I'm a deal with a woman, I'm going to get 60 years, and I know she's going to be there for me. Or how do you, come on, Mur and Kiara, y'all know how the game goes.
I know how
you know
it
what I'm saying?
Look,
At the end of the day, this not no easy rodeo, you know what I'm saying? It's not an easy rodeo for us or for the ones on the outside, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I
can
think
totally relate to that.
I think it's so important for other guys that's locked up to be able to understand that, because they act like they don't understand that. At the end of the day, I was dealing with this guy who was locked up too, and he had almost the same, he had a large amount of time. And I'm just like, dang, I want to have a kid. I want to do this. I want to do that. I need, this time to live my life. I don't want to wait until you come home to have a kid. He got completely mad at me for that. Start saying I was just like other females and this, that, and the third. But with guys,
but that don't come off as selfish.
See,
that come off as selfish to me. Because at the end of the day, like, why we can't build? Why we can't be friends? Like, why we can't?
Exactly.
Why we can't? Like, I feel as though a title won't do nothing but water down what we got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to build with you. I ain't really trying to. I'm trying to deal with you and build with you. I'm trying to take it easy and make it easy for me and you. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's why everybody need to hear this, especially some of the guys that's locked up, because they don't understand that. It's like some of them just want control over your life while you out here. And at the end of the day, when you dealing with somebody who's locked up, you're locked up too.
It feels like that.
Ain't no question.
Yeah.
Ain't no question.
Because you got some guys that want to be in control of everything, and they don't want you to do anything while they're locked up and you on the outside. But you have them trying to like control your life at the same time. Like you can't wear
Yeah,
this,
see,
you can't do that, you can't do this.
This call is from a federal prison.
I feel like that's where the selfishness come in at, because if y'all vibing, if y'all building, that shit would the relationship be based upon. Like, even if a guy doing that from in jail, like, that's what y'all like selfish to me. That's how I feel. But at the end of the day, it's also like that bond that y'all creating though. That shit also can lead to something outside of these gates. So I don't like when females be feeling like, I can't do it because of certain reasons. You feel what I'm saying? It'd be more so like, because, oh, he locked up, what can he do for me? That's not always the case, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm a guy, and I'm going to speak for myself right now, because I'm the type of guy, like, I ain't even going to hold you. I make it easy for females, because females, like, I deal with females, and it be more so like, I make it easy for them to deal with me because I'm bringing something to the table. A lot of people be biased to guys in jail because they be like, what can he bring to the table? Now, there's some real, like, stand-up guys in here that can really step up to the plate and do more than what them guys doing on the street in a lot of cases. You know what I'm saying? So it go both ways. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you dealing with. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers, I ain't going to lie, keep it real with me, though. Every time you vibe with a guy and he show you who he are, you feel like he him, right?
When he showed me who he is, I feel like he's him. Hold on, what you mean?
Like, to the point where it's though, when y'all vibe and you start falling for him, because you know that's normal, and you start feeling like, oh, he's so real, oh, he bop, 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 right or wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, and most females do, because at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make, though, is this. Like, them guys, they talk, a motherfucker talk a good game, but if they ain't backing it up, then it'll have you where, though, like, man, how far do I supposed to go then? You know what I'm saying? Your back be against the wall, 'cause you be like, nah, he really showing me he this, that, and the third. Then it take one thing, and you can be like, oh, nah, I ain't fucking with him in jail no more.
Yeah.
Am I making sense, or am I just talking?
Nah, you making sense, but I feel like on my end of things, I feel like some girls be so afraid to like let their guard all the way down with a dude in jail, because so many instances, and I know so many times, and it happened to me before. You rock with somebody that's locked up, and they telling you, you know, they speaking a good game, and I'm not gonna say it's game, because I feel like when you locked up, you more conscious of things. You know who you are. When you out here in these streets, you might be drugging, you might be distracted by what's in front of you, so you're not clear-minded. But when you locked up, you clear-minded, so it is you that's talking to that person, but then when you come home, you distracted again, and those distractions take you away from that girl that spent all those years holding you down.
Right, and that's how they, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I done had so many conversations with a lot of different guys being in these same situations, because that's true. What you said is 100% true, and they do it, and then they make it bad for the next man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, well, maybe he the same type of person, and that's the point I was making when I was like, everybody don't be like that.
Right.
Because them same dudes you be talking about, you probably be, I mean, I'm not speaking on you, Purd, I'm just speaking in general. You probably be putting more into the relationship than him. You know what I'm saying? It be feeling like, see, when we under these type of circumstances, it be more so like y'all got our undivided attention, and we doing just think about it. A guy in jail, he texts you every day. He tell you how much he give you your flowers every chance that he could. But guys on the streets, they all they do is say, oh, I'm on my way, or open the door. And motherfuckers settle for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I mean, it can go deep, you know, but I know you got more questions. We can go deep on that.
No, seriously, we can, because I'm telling you, it didn't happen to me before, so it be having me, like, scared like this.
And I understand. Yeah, I understand, but what about the ones who home playing with the bras? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just speaking in general.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it'd be more so like, that's a double-headed sword right there. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we just gotta base the situation off who you talking to individually, and
more, and to add on that, motherfuckers gotta know nowadays, what do you want? What is you looking for? Because I can ask a female right now, what you want out of a man? You know, that'd be kind of like the hardest question you can ask us. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't got themselves figured out to even know what they want, first and foremost.
Right.
Some people just want somebody, I want a nigga who real, but what is real to you?
Exactly.
I want a nigga with money, but what is money to you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said when it come to me, I make it easier because not only am I bringing stuff to the table, fuck the finances, man. We building, we in each other brain. You know what I'm saying? We making each other day. It's about I think when it comes to that, a relationship, that shit get deep to me. That's why I said I'm gonna let you go to the next question because this'll be all day. You hear me?
We can have a whole another podcast.
Yeah, it get deep to me. You hear me? It get deep because what is we looking for? How is we loving? Because if we ain't loving hard, we ain't loving at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we looking for at the end of the day? Because all of us, you can go outside right now or get on Instagram right now, and niggas gonna hit on you all day, and you can take on every opportunity. You feel me? If that's what you wanted to do, but you know what you looking for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let's go.
All right. I think we're gonna have to have another episode for that one.
Yeah, we might just need to have a straight relationship episode before we can really tap all the way in.
Yeah, that'd be dope. All right, so how
This call was from a federal prison.
is it to and for you to have a support system on the outside? Like, what do you feel like your time would be if you didn't have the support that you do have?
Stressful, wilding out, no care in the world. Like, people don't understand, like, the small things to y'all is big to us in here. You know what I'm saying? Something small as a letter. Something small as some pictures. You know what I'm saying? So for the ones who not doing it and the ones who don't have it, man, I wish you could be a camera here so you could see how they living. They ain't right. They ain't sane. You know what I'm saying? They all surface because they don't have that support, man. Support is so strong in these type of conditions, man.
Man, I can only imagine because I be feeling like down and out when I'm feeling like my people not supporting me and what I'm doing on the outside.
Exactly.
So
you know what I'm saying? So just imagine for somebody that's a million miles away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When people ain't picking up the phone, motherfuckers just don't know how easy it can be to be down for somebody's struggle. Nobody not saying, I want you to like the point you was making when it comes to relationships in jail. I want you to do this, do that. Nah, let's make it easy for both of us. I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I gotta do for you and do what you gotta do for me. You know what I'm saying? Because if a motherfucker say they need your money in here, I ain't gonna lie to you. I can tell you how easy it is to make money in here in a legit, not even doing nothing that you don't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Man, there's so much money in these in this place, man. And I'm not even talking about illegal money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
All right, so how do you stay motivated and what inspires you to keep going on your days that you are down?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, you know, ain't no day alike. So at the end of the day, I'm not the type of guy that wake up and bring to yesterday's problems into tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I got a second chance to come home, like I told you before in the last question. Like, how motivated? What get me more motivated than that? I'm already a ball of energy. You know what I'm saying? You see, I'm jumping off the motherfucking walls off your interview. So at the end of the day, I'm just motivated. Like, I'm just ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? When I lost my brother, when my brother passed away, and I was trying to figure out how could I just live, like how could I live, because in that like even still in some moments I just don't even be wanting to be here. But I think the biggest thing is when you have something to look forward to, it
ain't
keeps
no
you
question.
going. Yeah. So
and you got kids, right?
Yeah, and now I have a daughter. At first I didn't. When I didn't have my daughter, it was bad.
And by having her, it just shows you how much of a blessing she is, right?
Yeah, how much of a blessing
it's beautiful.
she is, and how
it's
much
beautiful.
like how important it is for me to be here, not even just for her, but for my family too.
Exactly, like just bringing an innocent person into this crazy world, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that they look up to you.
Yes.
Well, ain't no better motivation than that coming from a parent, you know what I'm saying? And I understand where you're coming from totally, 100%, because mental health is real, and a lot of people take that shit for granted, you know what I'm saying? Like, like the brain is the easiest thing to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why a motherfucker say mind over matter, because at the end of the day, when a motherfucker feeling weak, that just means it's time to be strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what keep me motivated, just knowing that, man. Like I said, I got something to come home to. I got a son that I got raised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I left that kid life when he was 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? I owe him that. So yeah, I'm motivated. That's what makes me get on top of these lawyers. Makes me, you know what I'm saying? I got something to come home to. I got somebody that a junior. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Describe the difference between your mindset in the beginning of your sentence and your mindset now.
I say in the beginning of my sentence, I was more like on the edge. I was more turned up, like geeking, like wilding for respect in the aspect of wilding for respect. Just tripping. I just had to find my way, like in this type of setting. You know what I mean? But you know, as time progressed and as I adapted to my surrounding and my environment, it was just a whole total growth and development when it came to just being in this situation. So now I'm one of the guys that's giving the young dudes advice, like letting them know what they should and shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying?
So, was this your first time, like, going to prison?
I mean, it was my first time going to prison for an extensive time, for an extensive sentence. Like, I've been in and out, you know, coming up in poverty, like going in and out of jail, but not for no long period of time. It always was, you know what I'm saying? The longest I did before this actual sentence right here was I had a gun charge in Upper Marlboro, and I did like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? That was the longest I did.
Okay.
Versus this time.
Yeah, I just asked because you said your mindset was like you was wilding for respect and.
Yeah, you know, just coming from just being an adolescent, just being young and got the mind state of I'm not going for nothing. Still that street mentality, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it takes time.
So it took a lot of growth and it take a lot. You know, like anything you do, anything that's new to your life, you gotta adapt to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, when you say wilding for respect, like when you first got locked up, did you think, because this is how I think people go into jail, like you go in there thinking you have to be this, you got to put on this real tough persona so nobody won't mess with you, or like so people can know not to play with you. Is it like that?
I mean, a person could use it as like, a person could look at it like that, but at the end of the day, you know, coming from where we come from, like, it's more so like you wearing your tough skin, you letting it be known, like you said, in a sense, like, I ain't going for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know the mentality when a motherfucker feel like, oh, I'm going to go in here and show them, you know what I'm saying? It be that tough skin, but at the end of the day,
This call is from a federal prison.
at the end of the day, it can be used in a sense of fear. You just trying to do what you got to do to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you could be actually scared, you know what I'm saying? But just letting it be known that I'm not going for this or I'm not going for that, to the point that, man, you're going to do whatever it takes to get your respect. And sometimes, you know, respect is not given, it's earned, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that part up about you can be scared, because I feel like so many people forget that scared is actually just an emotion, and people don't want to show that they scared, but being scared is not really it's not really a bad thing.
Ain't no question, and you're right. A lot of people will use that word. You know, a lot of people get caught up on words versus, you know what I'm saying? Versus they get caught up on the word like, oh, scared or fear. Nah, that ain't always a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to add to it. I was going to piggyback off of that, actually, because I just feel like with a lot of our, like, black men, it's so much pressure on y'all to have to be aggressors, and like sometimes you don't feel like doing all of that. You just want to fall back and chill and relax. Like you ain't even trying to get into all of that. But because our society is the way it is and where we come from, I don't feel like y'all really have that option to back.
Exactly.
You know,
the perspective is deep. The perspective is deep because, like I had to tell a person the other day, like a motherfucker think a person is a lion in a zoo, like they broken. Like imagine a lion in a zoo. he look like he broken, but sometimes you gotta go back into the jungle, show a motherfucker that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, it'd be a lot of pressure on you because the perception and the things that you quote unquote signed up for. But at the end of the day, man, that shit just be more so of an illusion than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it takes, like you said, it takes growth to understand that.
When did you realize? We know that you was always business minded, but most of the time when people get locked up, they feel like their dreams is now gone down the drain. When in your time did you realize that you can actually still build your business and your brand behind bars?
I mean, like when you got a natural born hustle mentality, like you always, like I said again, you're gonna know how to adapt. So at the end of the day, I knew that if I'm gonna come in here, I can't gain the same type of revenue I was gaining on the street level. You know what I'm saying? So I had to change up my hustle. Like I had to turn into a coach in the huddle. I had to switch it up a little bit. And like during COVID, I had came up with the idea, like, man, I had got, you know, when they was doing the stimulus, I had got extra money on top of what I already was grinding up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, like, I might as well sit back and come up with something genius while I'm just having this idle time, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, me and my celly was conversating, and I'm like, man, he always be telling me, like, how fly I be even in jail. And I'm like, man, matter of fact, I'm going to start a clothing line. At first, it was just a thought, you know what I'm saying? I was just bullshitting around. So I was playing around with a rack of names and stuff. And when I came up with, I wanted an acronym for whatever I was going to do. I wanted it to be an acronym. So when I came up with Lush, and when I was like living under serious hate, that was just it. And I was like, man, that's a hit right there. Like, because the meaning of it, you know what I'm saying? It's just so broad. Like, you could just go so many places with the meaning of living under serious hate because we all going through it, no matter your race. You know what I'm saying? And to expound on that, like, it started off as just regular drawings with regular Lush on a T-shirt, and then I got in touch with one of my partners who got a lot of things going on business-wise, and I gave him the idea rundown. So he gave me a price on an actual machine at the time, right? So I invested my money into the machine, and it was just history from there. I built a little fan base, and the rest was history. Like, when I first did my first test run, it's funny because I didn't really like it, but people gravitated to it, and it ended up being a success, you know what I'm saying? And from then on out, I'm just like, man, this is my new lane, and this is where I'm going to stay at, outside of music and stuff like that. While I'm down, this is going to be my revenue, you know what I'm saying? This is how I'm going to take care of myself, you know what I'm saying? And ever since then, it's just been working, and I actually created my own fan base, and all of them is not from D.C., you know what I'm saying? So I'm just keep trying to grow. I'm just keep trying to continue to grow my brand and keep doing what I gotta do, like to catch another fan base, because the things that I'm doing right now is just a fragment of what I got in store. You know what I'm saying?
That's very impressive. There's so many people that's out here that can't even navigate.
This call is from a federal prison.
A business, and you manage to do it behind bars. Like, that's admirable.
And I appreciate that. And it just be more so like I said earlier, like it be people mind state. Like people just be so caught up on what's in front of them or what can be handed to them, and I think that's what cripple people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they don't want to make the sacrifices because to start a business, it take a lot of sacrifice, and you got to put some things that you want to do to the side to really do what you need to do to get it done. I'd
rather lose by trying versus, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always stay down because at the end of the day, like I said, I come from a hustler's mentality. I come from selling nickel rocks, you know what I'm saying, substances. So at the end of the day, I know what it takes to grind from the bottom or stack it up. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people just can't overstep what they used to because they scared. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And when I was walking my dog earlier, I had a conversation with a guy in my neighborhood, and I'm bringing it up because he said something interesting that also kind of relate to what we're talking about. And he was saying that most people just don't have the mindset to make it out of the matrix. And
that was good.
Exactly what it is. Like some of us, the majority of people are in a rat race. They in the matrix. They believe in everything that's what's in front of them. And because of that, they don't know that they can create their own reality and create their own life. But it's very few of us that know. We just know. We don't know how we know. We just know. Like, this
It's a
my
gift.
life.
You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yes,
child. It's a
exactly.
gift. Like, it's something that you're born with. It's not on you. It's in you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And a lot of people pigeonhole themselves because they be so caught up on what the next person got, and they be trying to live up to that. They be trying to live up to another person's standards, and they ain't doing nothing but pigeonholing themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's
You can,
pigeonhole?
what's pigeonhole?
Yeah.
Let's say, I'm gonna get you an example where so you can understand right off the buck. Let's say if you a millionaire, but you hanging around billionaire friends, and you trying to do everything that your billionaire friends doing, knowing damn well that your tax bracket don't even amount to theirs, you gonna find yourself in a hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna find yourself doing something that's not you. You gonna pigeonhole yourself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I
It's
get
like
it.
just putting yourself into a hole.
Just
You know what I'm saying?
spending what you can't afford to spend. Doing
Exactly.
things
Living
that
beyond
you
your
can't.
means.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
gotcha.
You living in a condo, but you only can pay rent for an apartment. But you still gonna live in the condo because you gonna post it all on Instagram, and the world you doing what the world loves, basically.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay, so
right.
what about, because there's another flip side to that. Like the people that hang around people that have more than them so that they can just learn from them. Not be like them, not try to buy what they buy, but learn from them. Because there's like a whole lot of people that we like look at, like podcasts and stuff, and they always talk about being around people that have more than you have so that you can learn from them.
Exactly, because
This call is from a federal prison.
at the end of the day, now you seeing what you up against. It become like a friendly competition. You like, damn, if they can do it, why can't I do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if you got a drive and a will to want to be better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cause I always, and not to cut your wisdom, but I apologize. But I always been the type of guy that look at even cable or TV or anything that's above what I got going on. I always look at that, be like, oh, all right, that's what I can do. That, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of people will make other people's problems theirs or other people's fears theirs, and they'll make their fears yours. Like they be like, damn. You about to try to do a 500 fortune business, that's not going to work for you. And you could be like, shit, it's going to work for me. It might don't work for you because they scared. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
They'll place their fears on you.
Yeah, and that's the issue that a lot of people have right now because they not in those right circles with the right people that's going to push them up. They around people that's holding them down. And sometimes people holding you down unconsciously, they don't even know because this is how they was brought up. They didn't have nobody to push them up, so sometimes it's not even done like on purpose. But you just have to learn your surroundings, and you have to know who you can be around. You really do.
Ain't no question. No question. It's a must that you surround yourself with people that can help you. Like me and Murmur had a conversation prior to us getting on this platform right here. We had a conversation about inspiring others. You know what I'm saying? And I told her that's like the highest human act, to inspire you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Even if I was to start my clothing line and y'all was in my ear like, oh my God, that's great, keep going. You motivated me to be better. You inspire me. You know what I'm saying? You got to inspire to aspire before you expire. You know what I'm saying?
Say that one more time.
You have to inspire to aspire before you expire.
Yes, love it. We got to make that a caption on the video so that everybody can read that clearly.
Ain't no question. That's paramount.
But I love the clothing line. I love the idea behind it. I love the acronym. Like, I believe in it 100%. Like, I'm so happy for you that you even came up with this idea and, like, it's doing well for you. I'm like, my hat's off to you.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Yes,
like,
and
that's
then
big.
all the while behind bars, that's very much inspiring for me. Like,
Yes.
some stuff you can't, and some people, see, I think it's just all about your mindset. Some people gonna learn from you, or they gonna hate on you.
Ain't no secret.
They gonna ask you how you do, or they gonna try to imitate you behind your back, which is not a good thing because they can never get it the same way you got it, and they gonna hate you for having it. And my thing is,
that's motivation.
And whenever I see somebody like doing their thing, I'm just always like inspired by it. And it be the smallest things, like, dang, this boy started a clothing line while he locked up, or he's still putting out
Dang.
music while he locked up. Like,
Dang.
it
Yup.
it can't do nothing but inspire me to be the best person that I can be out here.
Exactly, and that's why I always tell you, even when we communicated, like I say, prior to it, when we got on this type of platform, like I always tell you, like, man, you only great is the steps that you make. You got to put your best foot forward with anything you got going on in life. Like, I root for y'all. Like this platform and this podcast that y'all got, this is only the beginning of y'all legacy, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I be telling you, like, keep going, like, push, like, whatever I can do, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to turn up for our city as a whole. We so much against each other when we should be with each other. Like, why is everybody speaking down on somebody when we ain't got shit going on?
Exactly.
Let's help each other out so we all could, you know what I'm saying, start a legacy. It's about leaving a legacy behind. And to add on to that, it's not even about us. Like, everything I do is for the next generation. It's for the next, it's for the culture. Like, this stuff don't, if I was to keep it 100 with you, by Allah, this stuff don't even excite me. What excites is that when I see somebody with it on and they happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's what thrive. That's what motivates me. That's what keep me going. Like, even with the music thing, like, I know that I can come out there tomorrow and be a global success, but I want to do it if I can sign up, so I can push our city and put us on the road. You know what I'm saying? Just be that voice for the voiceless. You know what I'm saying? It's just time for somebody to step up and start dictating, because a lot of people just allowing a person to tell them what they're going to do or what job title they're going to do. Nah, this what I'm going to do. And this how this going to go. And this how we going to take it by storm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And people and people don't understand, like, people, what am I trying to say? People are measuring success and measuring wealth. People are measuring success and measuring wealth by the things that they have, but people just don't even understand the words that you came out, the words that just came out of your mouth is wealth alone.
Yes.
Like, just the fact that you doing it not for yourself, just the fact that you see the world is way bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Wealth
Success is only
alone.
about the work that you put in.
Exactly.
Success is nothing about the work. Success is nothing but the work that you put in to become successful. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the hard work. You know, people be overnight success, but they was just a blessing out of the sky that dropped out of the sky. That's the cheat. Some people cheat to become great. Like, but when you put in hard work, you're gonna cherish it more, because it's all about the work that you put in. That's what makes you successful. Now, you could be an overnight success without being successful, if that makes sense.
I know, it makes a lot of sense. Like, because it depends on how you describing success, and that's the thing. That's why a lot of people that are overnight successes and overnight sensations and all of that stuff, they be having all of this money and they be having all this material things, but they don't be happy, and it's because they not living through their purpose. And you are only really successful when you are living through your purpose. The phone is gonna hang up again. It's
Oh
15
man, we
minutes.
just like going in. I'm fucking with y'all. John, I'm loving y'all podcast.
The interview with King Knot was so inspiring to me, and it was inspiring in many different ways. I learned so much that I probably forget some points. That's how much I learned from him and the interview. But my biggest thing is how he maintained his positive outlook on life. I cannot imagine being in prison, right? Let me tell y'all a funny story. I was arrested before for speeding in Virginia. Damn you, Virginia. I was arrested for speeding in Virginia. They sentenced me to 1 day in jail. So I spent a couple hours behind bars. Those couple hours were the worst hours of my life. They had me chained to a chair. They gave me a bag lunch. I never seen a bag of juice. Not a Caprice, a bag of juice. Like, a bag of juice, y'all.
What color was the bag?
I can't remember the bag. I can't remember the color of the bag. Was it clear? It may have been clear. But it was a bag of juice. Not like a Capri Sun. Not like anything I ever seen in my life. It was a bag of juice. They gave me a bologna sandwich. It was the dry sandwich that I ever had in my life. And they just had me, like, chained by my feet, one of my hands, to a chair. It was horrible. And I was sitting in that area for hours. For hours. So, when I tell you, and then when I went back to the holding cell, it stunk. The bathroom is in the cell. It was me, and it was about 5 other girls. I didn't use the bathroom. I wasn't going to be there long.
So was you holding it?
I don't remember if I had to go or not.
You probably won't if you see that.
Yeah.
Your body won't even produce nothing to...
It smelled, and they gave me a tray of food, and the tray of food looked like dog food. Like, I didn't eat the food. So I can't imagine being sentenced to over 60 years at the age of 19 and having served 15 years in that place.
Yeah.
15 plus years in that place, and still have a very positive outlook on life and just like on the situation. So I commend him just for that. I have a few friends who are incarcerated. He is the most positive one. They all positive, but when I speak to some of them, I can tell when they down. I can't tell when he's down. And his story, his attitude, his positivity, it makes me check myself when I'm acting. What do I want to say? I want to pick the best word for this, because when I'm acting unprivileged, because freedom is a privilege. To be alive and to be able to operate when you want to operate, leave your house when you want to leave the house, we don't appreciate life enough.
The small things.
The small things. The phone calls are 15 minutes. The phone hang up in their ear. They have to wait to make another phone call. We can make phone calls all day long. It's the smallest things that we act like we don't appreciate. But when you are stripped of all of those things, when you are stripped of your freedom, how well can you hold up? Not too many people can hold up when they are stripped of everything. People commit suicide. People start snitching on their friends just to get out of jail. Shit, people start lying on people just to get out of jail. So for him to have remain humble, remain positive, and just keep going every day, is just the most inspiration that I've come across in a long time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, from his story, I'm just able to check myself whenever I feel like I'm being a brat, because most of us are brats, and we don't notice that we are brats. We expect everything to be handed to us. Most of us. I'm not talking about all of us, and I'm definitely not talking about me. But I don't want to single nobody out. It takes a village. It takes a world. Like, all of us have to coexist in the same world. So we all have to be accountable for each other and for ourselves. So when I say we, that's what I mean. But some of us are brats. Mm. We complain about dumb stuff. Some of us are lazy. Some of us don't have enough courage. Because who sitting behind jail bars thinks to start a business? It's people out here in the world, out in life and society, who make every excuse in the book why they cannot accomplish their goals. And this boy has done it from prison, and he is still doing it from prison. So, with that said, I think I have proved how inspired I am by him. And if I keep going, we'll be sitting here talking for hours and hours and hours. So I am going to pass the mic on to Kiara J.
All right. I mean, I agree with everything that you said. I just wanted to add one thing to it, because it's something that I love. A good quote that can just sum up life. Everything in life you can apply this one quote to. So when I find a good quote, like, I stick with it. And he told me something that I've never heard before. And he said, we just don't know enough to be pessimistic. And I just think about that when he said it, and I'm like, that's just with everything. Because everything has multiple sides to it. Like most stories, even if two people are in disagreement, it's this side, and then it's the truth. Like, you may know this side, and then you don't have this side, but you might have the third side. You always missing something. So you don't know enough about anything to be negative about it. And if you knew the whole thing, and then when I think about it, like, especially comparing it to life itself in general, like, we don't know enough about the world, what goes on in the world, because there's so much that is not told to us, so much that we didn't learn growing up, so much that is kept from us, and we don't know enough to be pessimistic. So I think that's where his faith comes from, because I think he held on to that quote, and he internalized it, and it just became like who he is, and he just keep being like open-minded about things and have faith, and he just so driven, and he just know that he gonna see the light of day again. Like, they didn't sit me down forever. I'm getting out of here one way or another. Like, I'm getting out of here. And I think that's what kept him going for so many years, because I think a lot of people, especially at that young age, if they see 60 years, that means life. That's a life sentence. I'm 19. You giving me 60 years. I'm not getting out of here till I'm 80 years old. I'm going to be old. I can't do anything. But the fact that he kept his faith and his hope strong, and I think it's because he allowed himself to continue to learn behind bars. He became a student, and I'm sure he probably had multiple mentors, because he told us about people that talked to him and taught him things. So he just continued to learn, and I'm inspired, like, and I have the utmost respect that he has that attitude, and I was honored to interview him. I'm happy that he did it and he was able to share his story, and I hope that you guys out there can learn from, like, everything that he said.
And it's some gems.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of gems.
It's crazy, like, talking to people and thinking that, like, you giving them advice and stuff, and they turn around and you learn the most from them. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I will add that he is living proof that life does not end when you reach a tough situation. It could be any situation, not just prison. Some people become paralyzed and they think it's over. Because I'm in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, it's over. No. As long as you open your eyes and you have oxygen to breathe, there is life. That's just all I have to say.
All right, by the way, this is his clothing line. It's called Living Under Severe Hate. I love the meaning of it. But he has T-shirts and sweatsuits for adults and children. The shirt is really comfortable as well. I did a little twist to mine. But you can also find his merch on Instagram and TikTok.
And you can reach him at I am King Knot 202, and that is for Instagram and TikTok. And you can check his videos out on YouTube at King Knot's World. When you type in King Knot's World, be sure to put a space in between King, space, Knots, space, World.
All right.
And with that being said, do everything with love, with class, and with peace, pretty girls. That was good.